I think I managed it. I think I managed to go live correctly this time. It was a bit of a struggle, as always, behind the scenes. I'm going to let my partner in crime introduce himself in a second. But first of all, I just want to say thanks, everybody, to being here. Tonight, I want to address some things that I think are really important, really that center around the dangers of misinformation. I want to talk about a couple of examples of that. And obviously, anybody who's been on the channel lately has seen that my channel has gone through a massive kind of change, a massive rebranding. Talk about that as well for a short while. But I'm going to introduce my partner for tonight, or he can introduce himself. So, Doom, off you go, mate.
Well, I'm Doom. I'm the token Yorkshireman in the stream, and I'm going to be here assisting Kat to do these debates. We're going to have some fun with it, I think, and hopefully all you lot are going to get involved and build this community even bigger, and let's take it forward and see where we're going to go with it.
Well, we will. We're going to start off with because this kind of jumped ahead a little bit. We were going to surprise you with the debate channel, but that is linked in the description, isn't it, Doom?
I think everybody's been talking about it, and it's been quite positive on the Twitter account so far. Good. We've had a bit of a good response, which is brilliant. Good.
I'm looking forward to that. I am looking. We're going to show you all about that later on. But for now, and I know this lady's watching, the story I want to tell you, and I'm going to be really interested because I know you're educated about this type of thing. I'm really interested in your opinion. The lady I want to talk about tonight, you can see on screen at the minute. I know she's in the chat. She may or may not want to make herself known. I don't know. This is a lady called Fiona O'Leary, and I have asked her permission before this to talk about her and show some things to do with her. A little bit of brief history. I made a video a couple of weeks ago on the channel, a video about a miracle cure, a miracle drug called MMS that I only kind of just got familiar with. And on the back of that, I had two people comment in my chat saying, oh, you need to speak to somebody called Fiona O'Leary. And on the same day, Simon Dan, of all people, sent me a WhatsApp message saying that one of his subscribers had seen the video and knew that Dan had my phone number and said, you've got to talk to this, you've got to talk to this woman, you've got to talk to Fiona O'Leary. And I'm so glad I did. But what I've seen has completely and utterly, when I've been speaking to her, what I've seen has completely and utterly blown my mind to just the depths and despair that what I thought was just a one-off kind of like YouTube video, it's really been quite frightening. So I'm going to bring you up to speed with some of that. And I am going to actually be interviewing Fiona offline in the next couple of days. I'm going to stitch that together and make it a full-on video for you guys. She's done some unbelievable work that I'm going to let her tell you about. But let's start with if you've not seen the content, I know a lot of you haven't with all the rebranding. Let's start with this guy here. I'm going to test Doom. Doom, do you remember this fella?
Vaguely. You'll have to refresh my memory.
So this guy's where it all started for me. His name is Jim Humble, right? And he is, according to himself, a billion-year-old space god. Yeah. I'm not sure. Well, could he be taking the mick? What do you reckon, mate?
Oh, I think he's pushing it by saying he's a billion. Not a day over 1,000, surely.
Well, yeah, I mean, well, he could look maybe like a billion. He went on a camping trip with two of his mates many years ago, and his mates fell ill. So he just decided that his mates must have malaria out of nowhere. And then, of course, a few days later, they felt a lot better. But in the meantime, he'd given them some chemical out of a water purifier to drink and convinced himself that this mysterious chemical in the water purifier was like a miracle drug that could cure everything. I'm just going to see who's in the comments there, but I guess we can all kind of guess what happened next. I'm going to keep testing you on this, Doom. See if you remember. Can you remember what happened next?
You do realize how old I am.
So what he did, I'm just trying to find this thing here, is he set up a church with this fella. Well, I'll show you in a second, a guy called Mark Grennan. And they set up this church to market this miracle drug. And I've skipped a few details here, but this miracle drug happened to be industrial bleach. And if I can just show my screen here, I'll just share my screen. All right, there we go. So this is the guy here, and the church they set up was called Genesis the Second Church, or Genesis 2 Church. And they had to set it up because when they were selling and marketing this MMS drug, a lady unfortunately died in Australia because it was industrial bleach. The video I've got shows some horrendous clips of what it does to your esophagus. It's absolutely awful. Now, thankfully, Mark is in prison. But the way he got around for so long, like marketing this drug, is he called it a sacrament. Like you might get away with children having a sip of wine, he used to say, in a church, because it's a religious thing. So he said that drinking this bleach, this industrial bleach, was a religious act for his church. And of course, lots of people then became very, very ill. Here is he, just having a little sip. He marketed it as simply a sacrament, a ritual that the church followers participated in.
This is a sacrament.
And of course, for money, you could become a pastor in this church, and you can also distribute MMS for yourself. But remember, all along, we must never call this a drug. So, Jim, can I just ask you, because I know you've got some experience in this area, what does the law say around drugs under the banner of religion? Is it something that can you get away with things that you shouldn't be able to get away with if something's like a religious sacrament or a religious rite?
Well, in general, anything that's misrepresented is, I mean, it's firstly morally wrong. Where it becomes criminally wrong is where it actually hurts, kills, maims, where people are fraudulently damaged. It's just, I mean, we all know it's wrong to do these things, but people do tend to fall for them, especially the more vulnerable amongst us. But yeah, it's the thing is with the law is everything is divided into subsections. So it depends on who is hurt, what the damage is, and what the crime is. But yeah, ultimately, it's very, very bad for these people.
Well, he marketed this not as a drug, obviously, as a sacrament. And some of the members of his church went to Uganda and tested it on about 50,000 people. And while they were testing it, again, they were reinforcing the comment all the time: you should not be calling this a drug.
Do not call it a medicine or a drug, because if you call it a medicine or a drug, the health ministry will demand a license and authority to treat people.
And at the same time, people were using this industrial bleach as enemas to cure autism, and it was stripping the mucus lining of people's intestines, which was then passing out of their anus when they were going to the toilet. This was happening to young children. Nobody knows how many Ugandans died drinking this bleach. It was absolutely horrendous. One of the people who actually was involved in that distribution was arrested. He was a British man, a psychic for it. Now, I know this story is quite well known, I suppose. Let's just have a chat, see if anybody's, before I move on, just see if anybody's got any questions about this. If I just stop sharing for a second, just remove that. And Doom, have you seen anything in the chat? Just on
this. Look.
So far, if you've got any questions, just tag us in. Tag either Doom or myself in.
I'm actually as you are doomed on YouTube on this channel, but I am a moderator. I'll just say hello.
So right, so there we go. So he's in there. Right. So the next step from that, and I'm cutting a long story very short here, is that the Grennans ended up being arrested. But as a side shot from that, people were marketing this miracle cure also as a cure for autism. Now, like I said, I have spoken to Fiona, and made sure that she's happy with me sharing this information or talking about. But Fiona, that we showed a second ago, does have autistic children, and she's also extremely determined and extremely fiery, and does some amazing work. The Church of Scientology brought this MMS to Ireland where she lives, and Fiona decided to carry out her own little bit of research, if you like, into what they were actually doing, what they were saying that, I was trying to get the right link up, what they were saying that this MMS could do, and they were marketing it as a cure for autism. And she carried out her own investigative work against the Church of Scientology under a name, a pseudonym. And when they found out what she was doing, they phoned her up and they threatened her. I think they called her, according to the article, and again, sorry for repeating this, I know Fiona's watching, but I think they called her a spastic G-bag, and they threatened to box her all up and down the street, I think were the words that he was quoted as saying, which I think is, horrible. That's the Church of Scientology. But she took them to court, she won. And the Church of Scientology, I think, were even named, Fiona may correct me in an interview, but named as being partly responsible. So she's done a lot of great work. But along that way, she's unfortunately made a lot of enemies. Let me see where we are. Here we go. I'll just see, are there any other questions in the chat before I move on? Maybe Fiona said something and I've missed it.
She's just greeted everyone at the moment.
Okay, right. So Fiona's there. Now, can I just say that the videos I've been making lately have taken a lot of effort, a lot of work. And they would have only been possible because of the help Fiona's given me in pointing me in the right direction to look at things. She has been absolutely outstanding. Let's have a look what a madman's got to say. This is one for you, Doom. Don't know if you can see that on screen. But why isn't it illegal?
Asking people to do anything relies on a negative or an affirmative response. You are responsible for your own person, and if you agree to it, it's basically, for want of a better word, it's on you. Right or wrong, that's just how it is. The law don't tend to get too involved unless you make a report of it or you are tricked into it unfairly. But if you give consent, you give consent. But firstly, if you know you're drinking bleach, you give consent to it, then the responsibility falls with you. It's only when you're fooled into drinking something that you think is good for you, that's not harmful, that it becomes more complicated.
So if somebody says, legally, if somebody says, I've got this drink for you, it is a cure for something, it's absolutely not harmful, then that's obviously deception. If they say this is bleach, but we believe it will cure you, like, is that, and obviously it's not going to, is there a difference legally there, do you think? Or
yeah, I mean, as I say, there are a lot of things that are marketed out there that are still what we call technically illegal, that might be morally wrong to take, that can cause damage to some people, but not to others. Obviously, bleach is going to damage everybody. But yeah, I think it's down to the individual to, if someone is informing you what you're drinking, you say, oh, okay, then I'll drink it, and you get ill, then ultimately that's on you. But if they mislead you and tell you it's something that's going to benefit you, that's where you can blame the fraud.
I think Dr. Nimrod's trying to tell me something. This is Estrella Dam. I like it because whenever you're out in the bar and you want a Estrella Dam, you can say, "Can I have a damn beer?" And you're not being. That's my favourite dad joke. So sorry, I had to try one. So Fiona done so much campaigning, and she was. I'll let her tell her part in the interview, but she's been responsible for some absolutely fantastic actions that have been taken to limit the distribution of this drug. But she's also made some enemies, which is why I want to bring her to the fore. So she can maybe get some support. One blog, which I personally think, and I will just say my personal opinion, is that this is an extremely defamatory website towards Fiona that constantly accuses her of things like trying to hide autism cures from the world so Big Pharma can make money, pretending that her children are autistic so she can claim benefits for her children, really, really demonizing and vilifying her. And blogs that I see that have links to this one in terms of the same people who comment on them, etc., I've also in the past posted out Fiona's home phone number and address as well, which I think is absolutely horrendous. So she really does put up with a lot for the work she does. So I am looking forward to bringing that interview. So you do a brilliant job there, Fiona. Thank you so much for that. Before I move on to the next bit, have you seen anything interesting in the chat you want to address, or?
I think the whole mood of the chat is the same, and it's. I think they're all behind Fiona. It's common sense, really, isn't it? I mean, what's being done is very unfair to this lady, and I think to badger him afterwards when she's the injured party is it's appalling. And if she has any threats of violence, I don't know the whole situation. She really needs to either inform the police or get some kind of representation to protect her.
I have personally seen a message that she was sent, just one, since I posted my last video. But yeah, it's not for me to say. But I think she's extremely brave and does a fantastic job. Now, MMS, if you want a really detailed breakdown of this, the details are in the videos on the channel. I'm just kind of speeding through this, but MMS kind of gets partnered in the minds of alternative healers with another drug called GCMAF. I'll just give you a bit of a breakdown of GCMAF. It's essentially a drug that was proposed by a Japanese scientist called Yubotu. Oh God, I've forgotten his name now. Yakamoto, that was it. Forgot his first name, but Yakamoto. And he essentially said that when people have got diseases like autism and cancer, sorry, not the autism disease, I mean cancer. When people have got autism and they have diseases like cancer, is what I meant to say. They have an elevated level of an enzyme in the body called catalase. And he proposed that catalase played like an inhibitory role in the immune system. And it might kind of prevent your immune system from, killing cancer cells or curing. Even HIV was one of the diseases, he said. So he found some mice that had some cancer cells, some tumors, and he gave them this protein, this GCMAF, and they lived like a few days longer, maybe 2 weeks longer than he thought they would. And of course, a lot of the alternative healing world people jumped on the back of this and thought, oh, we've now found a cure for cancer. And that wasn't helped by the fact that this scientist wrote a paper to then claim it caused breast cancer that had to be retracted for some quite dishonest reasons, again, laid out in my video. But this is where I want to start playing some video clips, because this drug GCMAF was jumped on with such aplomb that you had people with huge followings saying stuff like this.
There is absolutely no need to take chemotherapy. You should take First Immune GCMAF.
No need to take chemotherapy. First Immune was his company. He was a man called David Noakes. He produced the GCMAF or MAF. I don't know, Doomed. No need to take chemotherapy. How do you feel about people throwing out lines like that?
Well, it's kind of personal, this one. My father passed away from cancer, and his life was prolonged by having chemotherapy treatment. So I'm kind of glad that he had the chance to get that treatment, and I had more time with him before he passed. If someone had come and said that to him, I'll be honest with you, I would have been totally unprofessional, and he might be 10 foot underground by now.
Yeah, this drug has got absolutely no medical or scientific stance behind it whatsoever as any kind of drug. And that's what he was, they're straight out his mouth. That was a video about pancreatic cancer. He said that, pancreatic cancer is obviously a horrible No, that was prostate cancer. Let me get that right. He talks about pancreatic cancer in a minute. So let's actually do that. He at the time was tracked down by the BBC. Again, Fiona sent me this link. He was tracked down by the BBC to do an interview there about him giving clinical advice to cancer patients whilst not being a doctor. This is what he says.
Do you give clinical advice to cancer patients?
No.
Have you ever told...
It's not the point. I'm the CEO.
No, it is a point.
No.
There is a point here. You qualify and get a GMC license registration for a reason to allow you to give clinical advice to a patient. Have you been advising patients on dosage
over
and
5
how
years,
to inject?
have I? Probably yes.
It is the right of patients to not to be exploited in the way that your company seems to be.
I just want to say thank you to Turing Test so much for that, sir. We are going to be talking about the new channel. I know I've dominated the conversation so far, but Doom will dominate the conversation when we start talking about the new channel. He's been a legend on that, and that's coming soon. But thank you so much for that. Yeah, sorry, Doom. I do feel like I'm dominating the chat here, but I'll give you all the plaudits when we talk about the debate channel. What did you think of his reaction to that, having his toes held to the fire?
I think it's quite typical, actually. When people get caught in their own mess, especially when it's a big mess like that, you only expect that kind of thing to happen. I think it's really unfair when people in a position of authority mislead people who need their guidance, and that is the worst thing ever. So many people will suffer from it, and I mean, they all need to be stopped, and I wish that I could do it, but unfortunately there are loopholes, there's red tape, and there's plenty of litigation to go through before you get there.
It is infuriating. It is. And I mean, well, I'll show you something else in a second. The rest of the interview didn't quite go the way he wanted. This is how it ended.
I think that was a horrible interview, and frankly, I'd like to scrub the whole thing. I don't think you gave me a chance.
I'm putting forward to you what has been asked.
I don't want it to go out. I would like the tape, please. No, I'll smash up the camera.
Excuse me.
No,
take your hands off the equipment, please.
No, take your hands
David
off
Noakes
the
is clearly
equipment.
passionate about his product, but his company's bank accounts have been frozen, and the regulator, the MA.
So smash up the camera. What do you reckon to that?
Well, at the end, at least 2 counts of common assault. But yeah, he's obviously agreed to the interview, I would imagine, and surely they've got him tied to some kind of contract which locks him in there for the release of the interview. So personally speaking, because he didn't like it, it's a bit sort of tough for him, I think.
And I think he didn't like it for what's about to come here, because not only did he say, that he's giving clinical advice to cancer patients when he's not a doctor. Listen to how he actually talks about proper doctors. Listen to how he pronounces cancer doctor.
In the cancer industry, when you see a cancer doctor, they tell you 2 lies. First, you'll be dead in X months if you don't take chemotherapy. And second, chemotherapy is the only option. Those are the 2 lies they always tell you. GCMAF is the only product that will get rid of pancreatic cancer.
Pancreatic cancer is a really nasty disease. It's deadly.
Not anymore.
And
not anymore.
So, cancer doctor. I just want to say thank you, Nima. I thought you were blue. That was that on one of my other channels. I will sort that out for you tonight very quickly. But thank you. Sorry, Doom, I interrupted you there.
No, I was going to say basically the way he treats the medical profession is obviously at odds with his own goals. So he's bound to take any opportunity to put them down. My other half is a nurse practitioner for the NHS, and she works hard and she sees these patients day in, day out. And I suppose I take a little bit of umbrance at the fact that there's someone out there who is a snake oil salesman that's tricking all these people.
It's infuriating. Now the thing is, he was he had his assets frozen. He was put in prison for marketing this as a drug, and while he was at court, he did admit in court that, oh, okay, actually no, GCMAF doesn't cure cancer, right? He retracted that claim, and obviously he made millions of pounds in the time he did it. But I just went on Twitter earlier on and I just typed in David Noakes GCMAF, and the amount of support for him out there. Now, as I scroll down this Twitter, you'll see one or two people pointing out his wrongdoings, but the vast majority of people, if you do that search, are 100% behind him. It's almost like a cult.
Are there any verified positive results from GCMAF?
No, and you just taught me something. I didn't know that we could speak while the video was on. I thought we were automatically muted. That's cool. That's why I wasn't saying anything. No, the original scientific paper was retracted, along with the. In fact, there was 3 scientific papers retracted that by the same scientists that claimed it had a positive effect. Other than that, there is literally nothing at all. But you know, people are claiming, oh, it's a cure. Big pharma are, you know, losing out millions. And David Noakes actually wrote a letter to before he was extradited, excuse me, to France. He wrote a letter saying that his arrest was just a cover-up, so Big Pharma could save the $1 billion chemotherapy profits a year. And it seems to be seems to have stuck. But before we get on to the debate channel, and I'll let Doom speak a bit more, I feel like horrible for just going on. I just want to introduce one last thing, and I'm really interested in your opinion on this, Doom. Really, really interested. GCMAF was the product that Noakes joined forces with this guy here, a guy called Jeffrey Bradstreet. Now, Jeffrey Bradstreet, believe it or not, killed himself, suicide. But of course, while everybody was saying that David Noakes was being arrested in a cover-up to protect Big Pharma, this happening at the same time with Bradstreet killing himself also led people to think, well, he's now been murdered to protect Big Pharma. And the reality of the situation was it was suicide, because the very day before, a lab this guy was linked to, it had been found that 5 people who'd been treated with GCMAF had died. He'd had his own lab raided for contaminated GCMAF and all that, etc. So he killed himself. But his sister is going very, very strong on TikTok. And I'm just going to play you this. And I'm going to ask you what message you think she's trying to give here, Doom.
I have had a lot of people message me and ask me what we use in regards to treating cancer, and I'm just going to share some of the major things that we do use and we've had good success with. One of the products that we use is GCMAF, which you've heard me talk about before. That is immunotherapy.
Oh, okay. I think it's just constant sort of hard sell, isn't it?
Would it be reasonable to assume when she says that she is claiming that she is able to treat cancer? Would that be a reasonable conclusion?
Yeah, because it's to anybody that is suffering, any glimpse of hope is such an enticing thing that they become more vulnerable. And it's this kind of situation where these people need to be taken away from society altogether if they can't contribute positively. It's terrible, absolutely terrible.
It is. Now, I happen to be a member of 2 Facebook groups that Candy's this is her sister-in-law, Jeff's sister-in-law. And she maintains that Jeff was murdered. She has that on her own shop, which we'll look at in a second, and then I'll stop talking. Sorry, what was I saying? I've lost the track. But anyway, this is what I want to show you. In the comment section of that very video, this happens. Now, in the comment section of that video, in which she is clearly talking about treating cancer, somebody leaves her a message and says that her friend has got stage 4 lung cancer. Now, I made a mistake in that little clip, and I kick myself for this. That video took so long to make. I tried to dot all my I's and cross all my T's, but actually, even though that woman in the comments at the end says she's in stage 4, and I think Candy's clearly thought the same as I did, that meant stage 4 lung cancer. Otherwise, she wouldn't have replied and said, yes, it works for all cancers. That disease is actually an inflammation of the lung, quite a severe one, but it's not an actual cancer. But for me, when you're selling products on your shop that contain GCMAF, and then you are saying GCMAF works against all cancers, I don't know, Doom. What's your opinion on that?
If it's a prohibited substance, then they can't legally, lawfully market it. And that's basically the bottom line. It's quite obvious she's on the grift. I mean, a lot of people in chat are using that phrase, and it's absolutely 100% bang on.
And it's things about GCMAF, and this is where the line is a little more blurred, is that like the MMS is industrial bleach, right? You can literally see the physical harm. You can pour it on jeans and it'll bleach your jeans. You can pour it on steel and it'll corrode your steel. It's very, very noticeable in an instant effect, a bit like hydrogen peroxide. If you've ever had hydrogen peroxide on your skin, you see the way it like burns your skin and it turns it all white. I used to do that all the time at school when I was doing hydrogen peroxide stuff with the kids. Horrible. But GCMAF is just a harmless protein on its own. What's harmful about it is the belief that it can replace other treatments. So I don't think, I'm not a doctor, but I don't think you can do yourself harm by taking GCMAF, which I think possibly blurs the lines a little bit. Let's have a look at that. What do you think?
What about taking GCMAF?
Oh, sorry. If it's not a physically harmful drug, but by the belief itself is harmful, that it could cure you. Like that's important. Like that differs to me in terms of MMS, which is physically harmful. Mm-hmm. But is the belief that this is going to cure you going to be enough to turn you away from chemotherapy, like Noakes clearly said you could? Which is worse, I suppose.
Yeah, it will. I mean, like I said, people will fall for it if you have a convincing enough argument. And these people are suffering, like I said before. They're always reaching out for things that they think that can help them. And usually the quicker the cure, the better it is. And salesmen and grifters and people who want to take advantage, they're the ones that will always cash in and benefit from it.
So the last thing I want to do is just bring up, and I've missed so much. There's so much in those videos that are on the site at the minute. I feel like I'm just so skimming over everything. But the last thing I want to do before I kind of pass more over to you, Doom, to take over, is have a look at Candice's website. Now, let's be clear. I'm not accusing Candice of doing anything illegal, right, at all. She clearly has her TikTok, which I believe from what I've seen, she's given the impression that she can treat cancer, and she's leaving people messages in the comments saying, yes, this thing works for cancer, etc. But selling GCMAF just as a protein is not illegal. I'm sure it's not, but it's, to me, I think there's a moral dilemma in terms of the message people again. I think they can be quite dangerous. Have I trodden that ice carefully enough, do you think?
Yeah, I think you've just about done it right.
Just about, hopefully. But this is her website here, and what confuses me is she has this cream for sale, and we can see here at the bottom it says GCMAF, and this is not cheap. It's $280. And yes, she has a disclaimer at the bottom, which we will look at. That's where my keyboard touch. Yeah, she got this disclaimer at the bottom, but here it clearly says, "Oh my God, this is different since my video, Doom."
Really?
This is different since my video. Oh, right. So before my video, this said this cream is 4. All right. You can go and watch the last video I've done. It's in the last third. I promise you all 100% hand on heart guarantee. This sentence here, when I captured it, said this cream is 4. Then it had a colon and it listed all of these. I didn't realize that had been changed in the last 4 days, obviously. Now it says this cream has been clinically shown to possibly help with. You're going to have to help me decipher the legality.
There is one big disclaimer there, and it's one word, and it's what you've just basically pointed out. Word possibly. She's obviously backtracking. Maybe she watched your video. I don't know. I think it's borderline, personally. Anybody who has seen that previous website will obviously have taken the information as it was intended then. Maybe she's had some complaints. I don't know, but she's obviously reacting to something.
Anyone noticed them, but I lost connection. So I only just heard the last couple of words you said. So you have to, I don't even know if anybody heard the last thing I said. You have to fill us in a little bit there.
On my YouTube screen, you're actually frozen. Anyway.
Oh, am I frozen? I'm not on mine. Hello, everybody. Right, yeah, I'm back. I am back. But the last thing I remember saying before I saw myself go was that sentence is different. It used to say this cream is used for with a colon. Now it's been changed to that. Is there a is this like, how can I put it? Is this open to a wider interpretation by saying possibly help with?
Yeah, as I say, it kind of disclaims the previous claim, if you like. Softens the claim. She's not out there to say this positively helps these conditions. She's saying this could help you, but it could also kill you.
Right. See that? Oh, hang on. Oh my God! So sorry. Right. This is like a reveal for me, right? This list said skin cancer. It said skin cancer when I made the video. It's in the video I made. It said skin cancer. Right. I tell you what I'm going to do. I am going to get up that bit of my video. Right. So everybody look at that now. It says autism, skin conditions, there's no skin cancer in that. There's none. Right. I'm just going to take this off the screen. While I do that, I'm going to shut up for a while. I'm going to put you well and truly on the spot, Doom, for a few minutes just while I find that my video.
It's not the time. I need to.
You're on the spot, my friend. Just while I find that clip, I'll leave it to you. Let's have a look. Or if there's any comments you want to respond to, or.
I'm just basically looking at what you put before. You would think, being a topical cream, right? The biggest thing it's going to affect is the skin, primarily, because it's where it's applied. Is she backtracked? I don't know if did she put skin conditions and skin cancers, or just skin cancers?
I'm going to get the exact thing. I'm almost there. I'm so almost there. Just to find it.
Yeah.
This works for all cancers. Okay. Oh, right. It was before that. I've gone too far. Right. So I'm back. Okay. Right. So I'm going to share my screen here. This is me, the highlight in the video. So this is what it said. Oh, stop sharing. This is what it said just a few days ago, because I only captured this on the day I released the video, and I released it, I believe, on Sunday. So this is what it said on Sunday.
Oh,
this cream is used for, and then we can see skin cancer clearly in the video.
Yeah, I think something has obviously happened that's made her retract the word cancer, and it might be the negative publicity she might have got from listing it on there. Obviously, I don't know the full story. I don't know how many of these things she sells, what her customer base is. I don't know. But obviously, when you take off something like that, which is a very bold claim, because skin cancer is like any other cancer, it can kill you. And when you take it off like that, obviously something's happened to make her retract that. And putting the word possibly at the top as well is another big indicator that she might have had her hands slapped a little bit on that.
Well, I am aware, and I can't say too much, of other messages that were left in the last few days on various groups and stuff. Fiona's made me aware of some of those, which kind of fits the pattern of a change of heart in the way that this drug is this cream is being marketed, should we say? So there we go. So that's obviously what it says now. It's been clinically shown to possibly help with. So listen, all I'm going to say, and then Doom, I know you've got an amazing announcement. I'm really looking forward to getting into all that. Is that this story is really spiraling in a million different directions. I'm not accusing anybody of doing anything illegal. It's not illegal to sell that cream, right? And she does have a disclaimer at the bottom saying it's not to be used as a treatment or a cure or prevention. All that's there. Nothing illegal is happening. I personally find it confusing, although I suppose the change of language might have cleared that up recently. But anyway, that's all I'm going to say on that for now, and I'll speak to Fiona tomorrow, and we'll get that interview out, which you will learn so much from that. But I'm going to shut up now. And Doom, I will let you take over with me, and I'll be ready to screen share whenever you need me to.
Yeah, right. Okay, so it's not a secret anymore that we're going to be starting this new channel. We've called it 8 out of 10 Cats because we're totally unoriginal. And we're both Northerners. But yeah, it's going to be a slightly different twist on the debating phenomenon, shall we call it. We will still have what we're going to call the main event, which will be 1v1 of the more serious topics. But we're also going to be branching out and doing some other things as well. Firstly, as you can see on if you can see this, we're going to be starting a freestyle debating league, which is almost like the debate world's equivalent of the Premier League, we hope. So what we need from you guys is we need to find some teams. Ideally, we want 10 teams. And I don't particularly mind how many people you have in your team, but at any one time in any match, the maximum amount of players will be 2 on each team. So you need to bear in mind that when it comes to organising it, I would say a team of 2 to 4 would be good for rotation, because obviously some of you might not be able to attend on some weeks through personal reasons. The league will last for, depending on how many teams you get, will roughly last for about just under a year, probably something like close to 50 weeks. So it will go over the course of a year. The winner will receive a cash prize to be decided, but I will say it will be quite substantial and well worth trying for. And also another pointer is, if you're going to have a team of 20, bear in mind you may have to share that prize if you win with 20 people. So think about that. We'll go into the rules a bit later on when we launch the channel. Obviously, we need to get people to be taking part. You can register on the site. So if Doom can click in there into the league page, if Doom,
hang on,
yeah, you call it Doom 2 because it's easier to say than Al apparently.
Where do you want me to go?
To the league page.
League page. Oh, I'm under pressure. This is all Doom.
This
one.
Yeah, the red one. The one that says league on it.
That's why you're the brains of the operation.
It does say on this page a brief sort of like what we've come up with so far. The rules and the way we play may develop over time, but on here you can apply in the top corner. You can check the league tables. So if you want to click on the apply button to bring up the form, it's very simple. You can just register your team. One team captain will register, and we need all those details. Keep your team name short. We don't want anything like, that silly Welsh place train station, is it? It's got about 400 characters in it. And also,
I can't pronounce that.
And also a 3-letter abbreviation so we can put it in the table. Because bear in mind, I'm going to fit this on people's mobiles as well, not just on a PC website. So if you have long names, it basically makes either the letters really small, so you need a magnifying glass, or it distorts the page. But anyway, there are terms and conditions in there. You can upload your team logo as well, which we're going to put into the league tables. I prefer circular logos because they just seem to go. And you can send them to us and we'll set all that up. Obviously, when we do this, because it's a cash prize, at the end of it all needs to be done in a fair way. So I do have to stress, we do trust people who want to come and take part, but any cheating that takes part, there'll be some kind of sanctions involved in that. The main event page in the middle, if you want to click on that for me, Al. Okay, on here, just a little bit to explain about the debates we're having. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. But what you can also do is you can link any of the shows that have already been done. You can click on it. If you click on it there, you'll see I've linked back to Katz's snake oil video. So you can watch that for now until we get some shows ahead. And if you go back to the other page, the next main event will be any debates we've got coming up, which will give as much information as we can on that page. Now, if you want to debate a topic on the main event, you can go to request to debate.
And I'm just going to interrupt to say I love this here, right? The amount of time when I used to have the debate channel with Creaky, and it was brilliant, and I loved doing it. It was great. It was really hard to get people to debate, even though people on Twitter would be like, I want to debate. Set me up with a debate. Set me up with a debate. Set me up with a debate. It was so hard. Well, you can set yourselves up here. I'll stop talking, but I just want to say, I love the genius behind what you've done with this, Doom. I think this is great. Okay,
so if you click on that, yeah, we've got yet another form. Now, if you just scroll down a little bit, I've got to try and go through some of the fields because to some people it might be a little confused, especially the end bit. Obviously, your name we need your address, we need your Twitter usernames are important because getting in touch with people through email is sometimes a bit slower. Some people don't check their emails that regularly. So if you move it up a bit more for me.
A master debate.
Right, so then you put your debate topic in, click on where your standpoint is, whether you're for it or against it. We've sort of penciled in Thursday evenings, so you can click that. If we get a massive sort of feedback from this, we may have to go to more streams a week, but obviously we'll have to wait and see for that. Then you need to pick whether it's a new request, so whether you're just trying to find someone to debate your point, or whether you're actually responding to a previous request, and then in that case you would pick a challenge. And the debate reference there that you're going to put in, if it's a new request, you make your reference up. Whatever you want to call it, you put it in there. If it's a challenge, you basically look at the debates registered, which is on the other page, which we'll see in a second, and you put that reference in there. And that way, on the feedback, we can match people up. And it makes it a lot less confusing, because both Al and myself are also professional people in the daytime. So we have to make it as straightforward and easy as possible, because our brains stop working, I think, after 7 o'clock, don't they? So if you go back, we can just take a little look at the debates requested screen, just so that it'll show you a sample, basically. If you're wondering why I keep putting Man King in these, you'll have to ask Al. I think he's going to be showing his off at some point on one of the streams.
I'm going to rock one of those babies.
So that's what it would look like. So you would go there, and if anybody has registered one, then you can just look at that. You can mark down the reference number, and you could apply to challenge it. Now, obviously, if we get more challenges, it will be on a first come, first served basis. So make sure that you're available on Thursday evenings, which is when they'll go out. Right, okay, you can go back to the home page. And lastly, we're just going to have a little bit of fun, and we've totally ripped off Room 101 with this, but I don't care. And that's a pet peeve section, because everybody loves a good moan. Everybody's got a gripe about modern life, and we want to hear it. And by coming on and airing your grievances, we're going to find out who is going to get into what we're going to call our room of rants, and which one gets pinned. And again, at the end of the season, at the end of our show runs, we'll decide on merit which one of the hopefully many pet peeves is going to be the one that gets the title of Rant Master, and also a prize for that as well. Yes, we are digging deep into our pockets. Bear in mind, I have children who I have to feed and buy Christmas presents for. No pressure. But yeah, it's all going to be as much fun as we can make it. And we can't do it without you guys. We need to be building this community, and we want to have a lot of fun doing it. We don't want to be... I don't want to slander anybody else off. We don't want to be a stuffy channel. We will do the serious stuff, but we'll also want to do the fun stuff. Just as another thing about the debate league, the format is going to be simple, really. When we get the teams together, a week before each match, we will post on our Twitter account 3 categories of topics that we want you guys to vote which one is going to be the one that's going to be debated. That's the category. On the night of the show, well, we will decide amongst us, me and Katz will decide which subject inside that category is going to get debated, and which of the teams is going to be debating on the for, and which is going to be on the against. And that's where the skill comes in, because you will get the time it takes for us to do all the other business in the stream, in the show, to prepare, because the match will come at the end. So you have minimal time to prepare. So it's not about how passionate you are about the subject. It's about how persuasive you are and how good a debater you are. And that's what's going to win you the points. I don't know if I missed anything there.
Well, as a summary, you can come on, you can request a debate to have a serious debate about a serious topic, and you can do that. You can join the debating league, in which case, like you say, we almost supply the topics, and we team you off against each other and judge you and put a winner through. Or we can do the Room 101 if you're in the UK, a Room 101 type thing. It's going to be fun. It's going to be so much variety. And you can just register yourself. Just go to the website. I've pinned it to the top of this. It's linked in the description, or it will be. I think the new channel is, but this will be linked in the description very soon as well, and pinned to the comments. So just go register or hit us up on Twitter, and we'll get it. I can't wait to do it. I can't wait for a bit of fun.
And also, I might add, just as a bonus, because I know this is going to get you all rushing to sign up, one of the prizes that the Pet Peeves winner will be a signed and worn mankini from Al.
and I've got to wear it as well.
It'll be screen worn, otherwise it's got no value to it, has it?
Worn and washed, maybe.
No. No one wants it washed, do they?
I've just I have just updated the description with that link. So we never usually stream for more than an hour. Well, I never usually stream on this channel for more than an hour. I'm sure the debates are going for longer than that, but should we just look out for any comments in the chat, and then we'll call it a day. What I will say though, I will shout out that I am interviewing Fiona. Hopefully tomorrow. I'm going to get that clipped and put together as a video. It is really one to look out for. You have no idea. I've left out like 99.9% of everything she's done and achieved. And if you want to listen to somebody who's really had some of these people properly taken down, like legally taken down, then that's going to be an interview to watch. She has been amazing. I don't know if you're still there, Fiona, but honestly, you deserve all the support and all the credit. So I'm looking forward to interviewing you. Other than that, yeah, fire us any questions, and we'll see what you've got. See if you can see anything doom you want to talk about. You want to respond to, or
I'm a bit sort of slightly concerned about biggest dog as pet peeve being pet peeve. I'm not sure how much of it he encounters in his daily life. It's just hang on if the stream's gone slow. Arcanix 1971 is asking unwashed. Of course, yeah, unwashed is the only way to go. We like to give you the choice, you see. Some people are such great fans of Al, they want to get really close to him, so I believe.
Windrider's got a good one. Do we like flat Earth? Like, you mean as a debate topic? We will debate anything. I mean, if you've known me from anywhere in the past, you'll know I've had a history with that kind of stuff. Not obviously being a flat earther, but more poking fun at it. So we don't like it in the way that we are flat earthers. But if you want to hop on and debate it, yes. But we're not going to be a flat Earth debating channel. But is being a flat Earth, is that the debate topic? Listen, you're cool, whoever you are. Maybe not.
Are they really cool? Am I going to be controversial here?
Go on, fire it away.
No, I'm not going to start a big flat Earth debate because anybody who watches this channel knows what the proper standpoint is on that. I'm sure they do. But as Al's just said, we don't primarily want to do flat Earth on here. If it comes up and someone wants to debate it and someone wants to do it, then yeah, okay, I'm sure we might be able to find time to do it on the main event. It won't happen on the Freestyle League. I mean, you could get on there, you could get anything, and I mean anything. From something really serious to something really, really weird or funny or strange or whatever word you want to use. So, but no, I guess we'll see what we're going to get. I mean, I think that the thing is, Cats, is a lot of people do know you from debating flat Earth, I think, and that's probably a reason why they might bring that up.
Exactly, yeah. But we'll be moderate. I mean, we'll have anything. I mean, you know, we've already got a couple of people who've agreed. I need to sort of date with them on Twitter to debate the death penalty. We could have. You know, I think Just Stop Oil was the example you had on the website there. Some people are for, some people are against. Trans athletes in sports, some people are for, some people are against. Gun control. Have we done gun control? Whatever, anything you want. Just, you know, you can go onto the website, you can request the topic, somebody else will go on it and go, I'll have that, and you've got your debate there. So and Doom has done all of this work with the website. It's really, really good. So yeah. But
don't
with
waste
that in
my.
mind, so go on.
I said, don't waste my evenings, do I?
No, you were amazing this. Right. I will say that we'll probably call this a day now. I want to thank you for coming on, because I know, like, you know, we brought you on for discussing the debate channel and getting it out there. There is linked in the description, so everybody please do go, and if you are interested in watching them or taking part, it's in the description. So give it a subscribe and then maybe register for a debate or hit us up on Twitter and whatnot. But yeah, thanks for being here for the whole thing. I know I dominated the first half of the stream because I wanted to talk about the other thing. So, you know, thanks for being patient with me for that.
Yeah, no problem. It's a pleasure, mate. Thank you.
Here we go. I think this one. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Well done, Windrider. You can come and debate whatever you want. Okay, right. What I think we should perhaps do, maybe, and I'm thinking out loud on stream here, but if we put together a very short, like, minute-and-a-half video of how to register for a debate, we can whack that out on Twitter, on our socials. We can put it up on the channel, and I'll put it on a community page here, and then see what comes back from it.
Yeah, I mean, the bottom line is debate for fun. Come and compete, win some prizes, win a title, and don't be scared to get on and debate, because I mean, this is why I've kind of said you can debate with a partner, just in case you think doing it solo is a bit daunting. It's not easy sometimes to get up and speak when a lot of people are watching you, but anybody who comes is welcome. So thank you in advance for anybody who's interested. We have had some interest already, even before we've kind of talked about it tonight, which is looking good. So I want to thank anybody who has already done that, and anybody who we hope is going to come and join us, which you're all welcome.
I'll just, before we go, verbally just respond to Matthew. Is there a non-Twitter notification method? Yes. If you go on the website, which is linked in the description, if you want to have a debate, you click on the main debate event button, if that's what you want to do. Up here in the top right, request a debate. Click on that. Fill in what you need here and just whack an email in. And if you haven't got a Twitter, you know, make one up. If it's is it a required field, Twitter?
I put it there because ideally we want it, but I can get back to you by email. It's not impossible. It's just I'd like another way of doing it, because when you put a show together like this, we need everybody to be working on the same page. So we need to be in contact with these people. So, but yeah, sure. If you want to just do it by email, you know, fire away.
Or if you leave comments under my videos as well. So there are ways, you know, if you really want to do it, there are ways we can accommodate that. That's not a problem. So yes, there we go. Right. I'm going to call it a day. And thank you, everybody, for coming. Thank you, Doom, for all your time. Thank you, Fiona, if you're still there watching, for everything you've done. And hopefully we'll have a good chat tomorrow. And oh, my God. Now I feel really awful, because we are literally just about to go. Oh, my God. Tony, thank you so much. You are ever extremely kind. We were literally just about to go. I feel awful now for doing that, but thank you so much. I need to get back in touch with you as well, Tony, as well. It's been too long since we've had a chat, but thank you so much for that. And yeah, actually, on a globe, it will be very early in the morning in Australia, won't it? Right, well, we'll call it a day then. And sorry, Tony, I feel really bad about that. Really bad. Right, I feel so bad. I'm going to have to let you say goodbye, Doom, and then it's you ending the stream and not me.
Okay. So yeah, I'll sort of reiterate. Sorry to Tony. It's obviously very hard to get out of bed when you're upside down. But yeah, thanks for everybody for coming, and I hope to see you on the new channel. See you later. Bye.